So if you follow my content, you know I've been a real estate entrepreneur since 2004, doing wholesale deals, lease options, subject to land contracts, renovations, taking ugly houses, fixing them up, Section 8 tenants, regular tenants, ordinary tenants, all type of real estate, right? But over the past few years, we went ahead and decided to get into new construction houses. And today, I want to share with you my 8 biggest mistakes doing new construction house flips. Let's go. Greetings, class. This is Chris Haskins with therealestateroundup.com. My mission and ministry is to raise your financial literacy through real estate investing and entrepreneurship. In doing that, I get to share with you my experiences, my real life experiences as I document this business for you. I don't want you to make the same mistakes I did. So here we are today. We're doing new construction houses. We've been doing it for several years now. But what I decided was, instead of focusing on the $5,000, $10,000, and $15,000 deals, what about a life that we focused on $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 deals, right? Where the profit will be larger. My mentor, Ron LeGrand, told me, Chris, the more dollars you wallow in, the more stick to you. Didn't understand it. Now I do, and I want to pass this on to you. Don't make the same mistakes that I did. So today, we're going to go over my 8 biggest mistakes doing new construction house flips, right? And this is not in any particular order because they all should be number ones, right? You got to know this stuff to get into it, get into business. All right, let's do this. Number 1, drawings. Oh, in Jesus, drawings. So I'm going to flash on the screen. You'll see some of the drawings we got to deal with, right? You have to deal with the house plans, the site plan, the survey, easements, right-of-ways, all this stuff. What does all this stuff mean? Well, your land surveyor is going to help you put this all together. And the problem is the land surveyor is 30 days out in my town. So these guys, you have to have this stuff in order for you to move forward. Now we're gonna cut to the builder later, but I want you to deal with a builder that already has house plans, right? And we'll get into that more in a minute. But the drawings, right? So you have to have the original initial drawings, which is the survey. I'll flash that on the screen. The survey is first. And sometimes we have to tear a house down so the drawings will show the existing house. And then it'll show, you have to have the site plan that will have the new house that you're going to put on there. So the drawings are just, oh my goodness, they're definitely important. And this stuff doesn't happen overnight. You have to turn it into the land surveyor. They have to put it on your schedule, on their schedule. No doubt they're out doing a million other jobs already too. So your drawings are, they're just paramount to getting started. Pick out the right house plan, the survey, site plan. So get this stuff done sometimes you can get it done before you go to closing. I strongly recommend. See, I can tell you this from the hip. I can talk about this stuff all day because I've lived it. I've done this. I've made all the mistakes for you so you don't have to, right? Do the drawings now, at least order them, right? Before you get to closing if you can, because once you buy the property, then the clock starts to tick, the interest on the money, the taxes, the insurance. Once you buy it, it's all on you. But before you purchase it, you can kind of get this stuff together, get your ducks in a row before you buy it. So I recommend you to get all your drawings together before you buy the property, okay? Number 2, utility disconnects. Utility disconnects. What is this, Chris? I'm glad you asked. Utility disconnects are going to be your power, water, gas, cable, high-speed internet. And some of you might be saying, well, I don't even have high-speed internet on the house that I bought. Let me tell you what happens. The city won't even look at your property because a lot of times when we buy these ugly houses, we have to scrape them. We have to demolish them in order to put the new house in. And before the city will even look at the project, let you tear it down, you have to turn in all of your utility disconnects. Even if the house doesn't have gas, you have to have a letter from the gas company stating that there's no gas there. I don't know why, but this is how it works. The sewer line, the all public works has to come out, mark it, and give you a letter stating, yes, indeed, we've taken off the electrical wires to this property. We've taken off the cable. Why in the world do you have to have a cable letter stating, and I'll show you some of these letters, it's ludicrous, stating that the cable has been disconnected, right? You could just rip it down, cut it. I don't know. And it takes long. In my town, some of these utility companies have up to 45 days to provide these letters to you. And you know they're coming on day 44. I had one time they showed up, literally round up family, on day 44. So once again, get your ducks in a row if you can before you buy. If not, you're going to be wasting a lot of time. I have been there. Get these utility disconnects. Very important. You might have to take, in your town, might be 60 days for your gas company. Soil reports. Number 3, your soil reports. What are soil reports? Well, I'm not an expert in that, so we hire someone called a geotechnical engineer. A geotech, and for short is what we call it in the streets. They're going to come out, dig in the ground, let the city know that yes, this soil is good for you to build on. Let me tell you what happened to my mentor. OMG, Jesus, my mentor bought some land one time, and we live in right by the coast, so it's got a lot of sand in our areas. So when he bought this land, he found out that the land was too soft for him to build on, right? So this guy had to bring in truckloads of sand to backfill this so it would have the integrity to hold the new structure, right? So round-uppers, please get your soil reports. Try to get your soil report before you close on it, or at least order it if you can. You have to know what that soil is the density of the soil, if it will even hold what you're trying to build, because you might be forced to bring some more different type of soil in. Okay, remember that. Soil reports is going to be required. Infrastructure. Number 4, infrastructure. What do I mean by that? Round-uppers. A lot of times, the main thing is your water and sewer tap, the main stuff that goes in the ground when you're building. So we have water and sewer that's in the ground. One of the cities in my area, Portsmouth, they require us, whether it's good or bad or not, you have to put a new sewer line every time you do a new con house, right? They don't even care if the sewer line is good. So you have to verify how deep that sewer line is, because the deeper the sewer line is, it's going to cost more money, right? It's going to cost the deeper it is. This stuff costs. And the water line roundup. Make sure you do a pressure test to verify that the water coming in from the tap has good pressure. I don't know if you saw my boy DeLawrence. In the past, he had to put a brand new yoke in. So you don't know what the pressure is or how old that water tap is coming to your lot. So get the public works department to do a water test to verify that the water coming in has good pressure. You don't want to get there and start digging and then find out you got a $4,000 tap fee that you have to do a new water tap, right? So check the infrastructure, mainly water and sewer. Typically in my town, the power and the gas, they put their lines in for free. It comes with the service. I don't know why the water and sewer doesn't do that. They ain't right for that. They ain't right. Next, number 5, scheduling. Oh, and Jesus, this is gonna kill you. Scheduling. Remember, on the utility disconnects, we got 45 days, right? So you can't even work. I mean, you can't even order the tear down. If you're gonna tear the house down, why even hire the tear down people or even get them on your schedule if you have the utility disconnects, right? And you need to have the drawings turned into the city, because you know how it is. We all know how it is dealing with any municipality or government agency, right? I love my government workers. However, they don't have the get up and go as a private contractor might have, generally speaking, right? So when you turn these documents in, and you know the city wants the drawings before you dig one hole. They're gonna want to have to approve all this stuff. And they're not sitting there waiting for Chris to come turn the drawings in. No doubt they have a stack of other drawings that come before yours. And it might take 30 days for the city to even look and approve your drawings, right? So with your scheduling, you have to say, okay, say today we're digging the footer. I mean, there's so much, good gracious, roundup is so much. Say we're digging a footer today. You know, they have every stage of new construction has to get inspected, okay? So if you know your footer is going to be done on Wednesday, you can order your inspection for that Thursday. But if you don't call the inspector until that Wednesday, they may not come out to the following Monday. And if you turn your drawings in today, you know, you might have 30 days before the drawings get approved. And let's rewind. How about your land surveyor? When you order the drawings for them to come out and do your survey, they could be 30 to 60 days out just to finish the drawings. You know, once again, they're not waiting for Chris, you and me to show up to give you this stuff. So scheduling is going to be so important. And you know, the framers come in after all the cement is poured. and your electrician doesn't come in until your framing is done. And your central heating and air doesn't necessarily come in until your framing is done also. And you don't want your plumber and your electrician working at the same time because they're going to be bumping into each other. And you know how these guys get. Oh, Kris, why is the plumber will say, Kris, why you got the electrician here? The framer might say, well, why is the plumber here? You got your flooring guys calling me. Okay, why is the electrician? It's always a problem with these guys. You got to babysit them. So scheduling is so important. Remember, inspections, subcontractors, make sure you can think forward. We call that forecasting. You want to forecast when you think this stage of the construction process might be done. And once again, I'll tell you that new constructions are a little bit easier regarding the life energy, but it's more challenging regarding the number of steps you have to do. All right, picking the right builder. Picking the right builder. Oh boy, I hope you are enjoying this roundup because this is taking me years to put all this together. As a matter of fact, I got some of this from my builder. He put one of these in too. Finding the right builder. Who is the builder you are looking for to do a new construction house flip? Well, I can tell you because I've been through a bunch of them, right? I've been through a lot of them. You want the guy, let me tell you who you don't want. You don't want the guy that says, yeah, Kris, well, pick out your plans and then call me up and I'll price it out for you. You do not want that guy. Why don't you want that guy? Because he hasn't built your plans yet, okay? You want a guy that's been building the same house over and over and over again. Because, why do you want that guy? Because he knows exactly what the prices are going to be, okay? So if you order plans from homes.com or whatever website you're going to use and give them to a builder, then they're going to be pricing it out from the jump. As opposed to somebody that said, Kris, I built this house 10 times. I already know what it's going to cost. They know. So when you pick your builder, go ahead and pick a guy that has plans. The guy that we picked, he had a whole bunch of plans and he says, Kris, this is the one I recommend you to build for a spec home. And I affectionately call it the Mark Special. His name is Mark, right? I call it the Mark Special because he's done it so many times. He said, Kris, I know how much it's going to cost. So I can tell you, I can pass that savings on to you. And he can use supplies from the last property on the next property, right? So he can use stuff that he used previously on your house. So find a builder that's building the same house over and over again. That way, when you turn your drawings in, it'll go that much faster. You'll have when you do your survey, you can do your site plan. The site plan can't be done until the house plans are picked out, right? They put the house plans on top of the survey, and that's what's called your site plan, okay? Survey, then your site plan. And your builder better please don't mess with a builder that doesn't have any plans. You're gonna be wasting a lot of time, spending a lot more money, okay? Number 7, my 7 biggest mistake, using high-end fixtures and materials, Roundup family, using high-end fixtures. What do I mean by that? I'm gonna flash some pictures on the screen for you. I hope my team can do that. High-end light fixtures, plumbing, exterior siding. You don't want to worry about upgraded siding, sink bowls. A lot of this stuff can be avoided. Plumbing fixtures like with your shower valves. Man, this stuff can seriously get high regarding the cost, right? So you don't want to worry about going over budget regarding your fixtures. And a lot of times people come in, your prospective buyers, they don't even care. They don't even care that you spent $300 on a light fixture. They could care less whether your shower valve was $250, right? All they want to know is when they cut it on, does the water come on and does it get hot? And when they turn it this way, it's gonna cut off, right? That's all they worry about. So don't be using high-end fixtures. Don't use stuff that you would love to see. Marble floor tiles, right? No one cares about this stuff. I promise you, all they're gonna do is walk in, they're gonna say, it's tile, okay, there's a light there. When I cut the light on, does it come on? That's what they wanna know, okay? So you can save thousands right here. And my final one, which is none of these are more important than the other, but I just had to put this last one down, zoning. Oh my Lord, zoning. In my town, being once again, because we're coastal, we have bad flood areas, right? So I'm going to show you a picture that some land that I bought. I didn't know it was a flood zone, but I found out after I bought it. So the house had to be raised up, right? Had to be higher than normal. But what happens is a lot of people, even your land surveyors, the height of the house changes periodically, and it could change 2 times in a year. So in March, the height of the house might be required 4 feet. And let's say in November, the height of the house might be 5 feet, right? So you see this picture here. As a matter of fact, the picture that you're seeing, that was a mistake. The land surveyor told us we had to have the house at 7 feet. I'm sorry, 6.5 feet. And he made a mistake on that one. But the problem with zoning is you don't know how high the house has to be because you're not an expert in zoning, right? So you have to go down to the city to say, okay, this is zone R4, R5, R9, R11. How big of a house can you put on this land? Your zoning is crucial. It's very crucial. I'm going to show you another picture. So one time we were doing a house in this particular area where this zone, you couldn't put the driveway in front. I'm sorry, you couldn't put the garage in front of the door. Right? So the front doors here, a lot of houses have garages that go in front of the front door. They protrude. So in this particular zoning, the garage had to be flush with the front door, right? I didn't know that stuff, but you find out real quick when you start doing your research, your zoning. You better have your zoning down. What if they don't want you to use, what if they don't want you to use a house that's X amount of feet high in the air? What if they say, well, this zoning only requires the minimum of 2,200 square feet and the maximum of 35. You have to know exactly what type of house, and if you're in a historical district, that can make it even worse. That's another layer to the restrictions that you have, okay? So your zoning is crucial. Get your zoning before you buy. Just go down to the city and say, hey, I've got this piece of property here. Would you mind telling me the zoning and some of the restrictions for new construction? And they'll whip it out. They have it right down on the desk. The code compliance office or the codes compliance office will be able to tell you that. And they are in every municipality in the country. Okay. You can just Google codes compliance for my town. So that's my biggest new construction house flip mistakes. And I want to know from you, what are some of the mistakes you were making, round-uppers? This is just a few. No doubt there are tons more, but I would love if you could just comment below. Tell me, what mistakes were you making as you're getting into new construction house flips? I promise you, new construction, for me, it's very enjoyable. You don't have to deal with a lot of the unknowns. Like when we're doing renovations, you rip out a wall, you might have termite damage, moisture damage, the wall might not be square. You might have old 2x4s. They might not even use the 2x4. Sometimes I've seen it where they didn't use the 2x4 this way. They turned it that way to make the room bigger. So many different unknowns with renovations. But with new cons, you don't have to worry about that because you're starting from scratch. Tell me some of your mistakes in the video description, in the comments below. And round up, make sure you take a second to subscribe to my channel. We are passing 55,000 subscribers now. And we just hit 4.5 million views, all because you allow me to pour my crazy world into you. Thank you so much. Okay, I look forward to seeing you soon. This is Kris Haskins with therealestateroundup.com. Peace. Since 2004, I've been doing wholesale deals, lease options, subject to land contracts, owner financing, lease. What the hell am I doing? Section 8, conventional rentals, renovation, buying ugly houses, pretty houses, taking deals. This is crazy. So if you follow my content, you know I've been a real estate entrepreneur since 2004. I gotta fix